Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and thank you for being so patient with me because I haven't been posting much lately, but I really appreciate you guys joining me back here. Hope you guys are doing well. Today I wanted to talk about something that I've been practicing a lot recently, and it's just the power of stepping into and touching stillness, and how that can heal you and how it can help you understand the things you're going through in a unique and deeper manner. So I have some paper here with me, some notes that I took. I will be looking down at that, so that's why I'll be looking down here. And also, I want to show you guys the crystal jewelry that I've been making lately. As you can see here, and for a little bit of ASMR. I don't know if you can hear that. And then, like, if you have anxiety or anything like that, you can just take one and kind of like, just fidget with it. It's so cool. Let me zoom you in here. I don't know if you can see that. Let me zoom you back out. Focus on my face. Focus on. Okay, good. We're good. Okay, so hopefully that was good. Anyway, and then you can just take whichever one you want off and just wear them as a single one. So I think that was a really cool idea. The reason why I want to talk about stillness and just stopping for a second is because I've had a few things going on in my life, and I've noticed that every time I stop and I take the time to not react and respond, when I especially want to understand what's going on in my life and why certain things are happening, because I have struggled with letting go of just the concept of having control, because I like when I have control, and it makes me feel like I don't know, like it helps my anxiety and stuff like that. And I used to take a lot of steps to just organize what I would do throughout the day, organize my day, plan things so that I wouldn't feel like things are spiraling out of control. It's things like that where I just want to, step into stillness, just stop for a second so that, I can become aware of everything and break free from these habits that take so much of your energy, and really deplete you. And if you're going through anything tough, like whether it's a breakup, whether there's somebody you lost in your life, whether it's some difficulties you're having, maybe with your health, things like that, really practicing this will help you see things from a different light. I guarantee you that, and that's the most beautiful thing about this. That's what I absolutely love about this, is because it gives me a different perspective. It gives me time to respond and see things with not just with my eyes. You feel things in a different way. It just helps, like, soothe your heart, your soul, so that you're not in that pain and that state of anguish, where you're feeling confused, you're feeling lost, you're feeling hurt. The first thing I want to talk about, when you want to dive deeper into the habits that you may have and that you want to correct, or work on, is cultivating awareness. Awareness is one of the most beautiful things, because I think healing and growth starts with awareness. As soon as you're aware of what those habits are, what it is that you keep consistently doing, you keep recreating in your life, then that is when things can start, getting better. That's when you can start growing. You can start, progressing forward. And with awareness, you have to cultivate the intention to be aware. And this is something that we have to come back to time and time again. This is something you have to keep reminding yourself. And it doesn't just happen within a month. It's not just something that just becomes a habit. Like, yeah, you can get better at it. You will get faster at becoming aware. But the thing is, you're going to have to do this for the rest of your life. And there's something so beautiful about that. I remember a while ago I used to think, I have to do this for the rest of my life. Like, oh my God, it's going to be so tough. But you find beauty in it. You start to choose to do it. You start to want to do it. You feel like you want to be more aware of things, and you find something so beautiful every time you do become aware of whether you think it's a positive habit or a negative habit. Because now I'm at a point where if I can be aware of something that I would consider like these habitual traps, these negative patterns of that I have, I feel it. I feel it as like it's a positive response to me. You know, if I can quickly be a bit aware of something I don't like, something that that is distracting, that is negative, it feels good. It feels good to me to become aware of that. So with awareness, it does take time, it does take practice, and it all starts with meditating. Nowadays, all you see is people telling you how to meditate, what's the proper way of meditating, and what is right, what is wrong, and there's a lot to do with that. But the first thing I can tell you is that meditating is just being aware. You know, sit in a room. You don't have to be counting. You don't have to just be breathing, but it's something you can focus on. So sometimes I focus on my breath. So when I'm breathing in, I focus on all the air coming in and my lungs expanding, and then the air coming out, and I'm just focusing on my body, and my mind and my body is connected, and that's where my awareness is focused on. You know, you could be, your awareness could be anywhere and everywhere, you know, and you can practice that and you can expand that. If you don't practice it, there's only a few things that you can be aware of. And I think a lot of people have experienced this, maybe you have, where you try to meditate, but your awareness is up here and you're not focusing on your breath. Maybe you're not counting or anything like that. And this, you know, a lot of people have said that, you know, their mind feels like it's spiraling, like there's so many thoughts. How do I come back to my breath? How do I come back to counting? Because, you know, I get distracted. And yes, it is very tough in the beginning. And the whole point is to understand that that is okay, you know, that is okay. But every time your mind wanders, you bring it back. You bring it back to the present moment. And the most important thing is to let go of that idea of having to do things a certain way, or that has to be the proper way. That doesn't exist. You know, how you meditate is how you meditate, and whatever brings you to a still point, makes you feel aware, become aware, then that is how you should meditate. Whatever that takes. You know, you could be fiddling with something. Maybe that makes you have a more controlled, aware state. You know, you could be breathing and fiddling with something, whatever works for you. So yeah, I just want to stress that you have to let go Western society's conditioning that you've got to be perfect and you have to do things perfectly. That is definitely not the case here. And only then will you be able to look into things deeply from that still point. When you meditate, you can meditate when you're eating. You can meditate while you're walking, while you're taking a shower, while you're, I don't know, playing, talking to someone even, listening to someone. And think of meditation as dynamic stretching before your workout, you know, or resting before, you know, you worked out, you need a rest day, and now you're gonna get back into the gym, because just sitting still, tapping into that still point is like massaging your heart and your soul. You know, you're relaxing it. Think about this. If you want to hit a new PR, you wanna do a deadlift. You know, your max was 200. Now you want to hit 225 or 210 or 205. You need to rest. You need to do these exercises to help you get to that point. You cannot just jump into another, you know, try and hit another PR, because then you will injure yourself. Let me ask you, how many times have you tried to dig deep into something and it ended up hurting you? There is such thing as re-traumatizing yourself when you recall certain memories, when you try to dig deep into things when you're not ready. That's why it's important when there's something going on in your life and you're in that state of, you know, there's all these emotions coming at you and you're feeling so much and you can react. It's very important to take a step back, to breathe, to feel what you're feeling, and then come back to it from a still point. Come back to it when you are calm or when you are relaxed, so you do not strain yourself, so you do not strain your soul, your mind, your heart. It's times like that when we are so emotional that we have regrets of doing what we do. So it is very important to take a step back and take your time, however much time you need, and that's different for everybody, and it's okay. Whatever it is for you, it's okay, whether it's a short amount of time or a long amount of time. Allow that mindful meditation to relax you, to help you release and open up a little wider, okay? And if we practice looking deep without actually opening up, without actually opening and expanding our hearts, then we get injured. So when we stop, when we meditate, when we are still, that is allowing our body and our mind to relax and calm down, okay? And to open up. And when we are able to open up, that's when we will see things from a different perspective. Let's take an example. If you just had a fallout with someone, you might see things a certain way, like for sure this is what happened and this is why they did it. But you don't know if you're going to feel that exact same way within 24 hours, within 2-3 days, because things change, feelings change as emotions pass. It's essential in your meditation to touch that stillness and to relax our minds and our body before the second part, which is to look deeply within ourselves. If you don't get to that point, there's a very high chance that you'll strain yourself. You might start overanalyzing, you might start overthinking, just like when a situation just starts to happen, right? How much anxiety are you feeling within? How much worry? How much nervousness? And if you act out from that point, of nervousness or fear, you are reacting. You are not responding from a true, authentic state. And not only will that end up hurting other people, but it'll also deeply hurt you as well. So now that we have tapped into that state of stillness, we have strengthened ourselves enough to open up and to look deep within ourselves. So now that we're relaxed, we are able to see things clearly. There's no over-analyzing thoughts and anxiety and all this fear clouding our thoughts, affecting our judgment of things and how we perceive things. With even a small degree of awareness and stillness, things become apparent. You don't have to strain yourself to see things, and you're going to be seeing things that have been right in front of you all along. You're going to be seeing things that you don't just see with your eyes. Okay? There's like this story that I saw that I heard about of this lady. She went on a meditating camp, and when she came back home after 5-6 days, she was meditating so much, and she was in this still point, that when she came back home and she was walking towards her door, she noticed these beautiful flowers that were in front of her house, and she went inside and she asked her mom, Mom, when did you plant these flowers? And her mom's like, oh honey, that's been there for like 15 years. And only now is she truly noticing those things that have been right in front of her, that she has been walking past every single day. And I really encourage you, the next time you go camping, hiking, you're sitting somewhere watching the sunrise or set, I really encourage you to meditate, breathe, and touch that still point within yourself, and then look again. I promise you, things will feel so beautiful. You think you're watching the sunset, but when you do that, it feels so much more beautiful and so much more incredible. And when you can let go, you can hear things you haven't been hearing before. You can see things you haven't been seeing before, and see the full picture of things. It'll shift your perspective on things. And letting go is the very first step to expanding our hearts. And when our heart is open and relaxed, we can see more deeply, and things start to become more apparent to you. And you start seeing things without trying to control them or fix them or trying to find the answer. Because that way it comes to you, and it comes to you in a beautiful way, and it doesn't come forced. It doesn't come in a, it doesn't come from an emotional place where it could be altered in a certain way and can be seen in a certain perspective. You start to see things from a wider perspective, and we become less caught up in our own habitual ways of reacting, and our understanding really deepens. And lastly, I want to share this, and I think this is beautiful, and I want to remind you that Sometimes the wisest thing to do is not to react. It's to sit in the stillness, breathe through the intense emotions, and respond from a still point. So that was it for the podcast. But before I let you go, I want to share a beautiful exercise that will really help you come to that still point and kind of create this type of gratitude. And it's the hand exercise, okay? I want you to take a look at your hands. Now, these hands is the way that it is from generations, and it's past these beautiful energies, and sometimes you carry trauma from generations, and just remember that is not all on you, and that should not be a burden. And maybe the thought of that will help lighten it up a little bit, knowing that it is not yours to carry, all that trauma and all those things, and it can end with you. Yeah, take a close look at your hands. All these creases, the little wrinkles, the hair, just the way your hand is shaped, your fingers, your fingernails, and really notice everything and look deep into it. These hands are the hands you use to do the things you love, to make yourself food, to journal, to shake people's hands, to hold a coffee cup and enjoy your favorite cup of coffee in the morning. Just truly be aware of your hands. It might sound silly, but just sit there, take some time, look at it, and think about all the ways that it serves you, the things that you can do with it. I think it's beautiful. And you can do this with everything. You can do this with your entire body, just the way it serves you, the way you do things with it, the things that you are able to do with it. And just have gratitude. And I always say that when you are in the state of feeling gratitude, it is not possible to feel any negative emotion. So that's why gratitude exercises are incredible. And I hope you practicing this with either your hand, maybe your face, your body, anything like that. It brings you to this moment, the present moment, and you find this point of stillness within yourself and truly feel some gratitude. I hope that really helps you guys. I hope that encourages you to try that exercise and stop and look deeply into yourself. And I hope the things that you are looking for come to you. And it does take time. So take your time. Don't feel rushed. Sometimes looking for the answer is not a great thing to do, because the true authentic answer will come to you through time. Okay? Hope you guys have an incredible rest of your day.